In part 1 of this smartphone photography set, I promised to share my favorite apps for shooting and processing my smartphone images. And I told you that I would share a list of apps that can help you improve all of your photography, even with your expensive pro cameras. So let's do this. Stay tuned. Hey gang, my name is Joe Edelman, and my mission is to help photographers like you to develop a solid understanding of the hows and whys behind great photography so that you can achieve your goals as a photographer. If you haven't watched part 1 of this set, I hope you have a good excuse. You can find the link to it in the description below the video. I mentioned in the first video that I shoot my smartphone images as RAW files. A lot of people were surprised to hear that was possible. Well, it is, but let me clarify a few things. RAW files are not a native feature on smartphones, so you will need to use a different camera app than the one that is part of your phone's operating system. Just like there are different camera brands, there are 50 times as many different camera apps for your smartphone. So let's look at 2 of my favorites. Probably tops on the list for both functionality and the ability to work on iPhone and Android is the app called ProShot. This is a $3.99 app that effectively turns your smartphones into a DSLR-styled operating system. You can shoot with auto exposure, program automatic, or manual, and you can create 2 custom modes to fit your shooting style, just like you do with a DSLR. The ProShot app gives you manual, semi-manual, or automatic control over exposure, focus, flash, ISO, shutter speed, and white balance. You can shoot in JPEG or RAW, which is a DNG file, or just like your DSLR, you can shoot RAW plus JPEG. Also, you can shoot in a standard 4:3 format, or 16:9, or 1:1 square, or even create your own custom aspect ratios. The ProShot app also offers manual focus assist, burst, timer, and time-lapse modes, bracketing, live histogram, and a lot more. I've included a link in the description below. My personal favorite app for shooting stills is ProCam. This is an iOS-only app. ProCam sells for $4.99. It will allow you to shoot a RAW file or even shoot a lossless TIFF, as well as JPEGs with 3 different quality options. In addition, it has all of these features. If I'm working on a shot in low light levels and I want to limit the amount of noise, I use an app called Hydra. Hydra merges up to 60 individual images to make a single high-quality photo, effectively getting more light from the scene. That way, Hydra produces up to a 36 megapixel high-resolution file with enhanced dynamic range and reduced camera noise in low-light scenes. Hydra is an iOS-only app that sells for $4.99. So how do you figure out which is the best app for you to shoot with? The same way you figure out the best camera or lens to shoot with. You consider what kind of photos you like to take, and you try a bunch of different apps. A lot of the apps offer a free version and a paid version. The free version will help you figure out if you like the layout and design of the app, and if it's worth spending the money for the paid version to unlock all the cool features. You can also use YouTube to see detailed walkthroughs of most of the apps. Now, it's worth pointing out, I still keep the native iPhone app icon on my main screen. If I'm in a hurry, need a quick snap of something, and I'm not trying to be creative or create a work of art, nothing beats the native camera app on iPhone or Android for that quick photo. Yes, it said post-processing. All digital files are meant to be processed, just like in the film days. You see, we really haven't evolved that much. I do want to be clear. Post-processing does not mean slapping an Instagram filter on your photo so that it looks like 5 million other shots that use that same filter. My all-time favorite app for post is Snapseed. Originally by Nik Software and now owned by Google, Snapseed is free for both iOS and Android. It supports RAW files and allows you to create editable files so that you can undo and change your edits. Snapseed is very robust, and its features include these. I think it's important to also mention that the latest version of Lightroom Mobile is extremely robust and well laid out, but it still suffers from the same roadblock as the desktop versions of Lightroom: import. For me, I don't want to have to import my photos so that they live in the Adobe ecosystem. So for my workflow, Snapseed stays at number 1. But if you use Lightroom on your desktop and you love that setup, I would strongly encourage you to take a look at the Lightroom app. It's also worth mentioning that for the occasional gimmick, there are apps that will create reflections and mirror images and raindrops and just about anything you can imagine. Honestly, they're a lot of fun. Just don't overdo it. Remember, a bad photo, it's still a bad photo. And adding a reflection to it won't save it. So use any of these apps sparingly, please. I know these are the ones that you've really been waiting to hear about. Let's start with Shoot Prep. Smartphones give us so much useful technology for planning photo shoots. It really is hard to imagine how we ever got great shots back in the film days. Hopefully, it goes without saying that Google Earth and Google Maps are incredibly important, from the ability to see a location that you've never visited before, to of course being able to map out the fastest route to get there. Both apps are free and available for iOS and Android. Aside from Google Earth and Google Maps, number 1 on my must-have list is the Sun Surveyor. If you're going to shoot outdoors for any reason, this app is extremely useful. Sun Surveyor allows me to track the sun throughout the day on any calendar date. It'll show me where the sun will be in the sky, how high it will be, how long the shadows will be, and lots more. I can use this in a map view mode, but I can also use a street view mode to get a realistic idea of how my location will be lit. Using my phone's GPS, I can even stand inside a building and use the app to figure out how much light will be streaming through the windows at any given time of the day. Sun Surveyor also helps me plan nighttime shots by tracking the moon, and for any given calendar day, it'll give me the detailed breakdowns of sunrise, sunset, golden hour, magic hours, and much more. This is a $9.99 app that is worth every penny, and for me, it replaces several apps like the popular Light Track and the Photographer's Ephemeris. Sun Surveyor is much more robust and information-packed than any other app of its kind. It is available for Android and iOS. Also, when planning a location shoot, the Weather Channel app, which is free and available for iOS and Android, is extremely important to be able to review weather forecasts and also satellite radar data. If you want something a bit more robust, for $1.99 in both iOS and Android, you can pick up the NOAA High Def Radar app, which has high-definition radar displays for more accurate predictions. A 99-cent per month subscription is required to see future radar data. But this is a worthwhile expense if you routinely work outdoors. I like to keep track of potential shoot locations as I'm out and about, so I use an app called Scene Scout. Available for free on iOS and Android, Scene Scout allows me to shoot and organize my potential locations, tag them and search them, and crowdsource by sharing them with others. This also means that if I'm traveling somewhere new, I can check out Scene Scout for locations that have been shared by others in the past. Another very useful app, especially for landscape and architectural photographers, but even handy for us people shooters, is Hyperfocal Depth of Field. This is a calculator app. It supports over 1,600 different camera models and lets you input your camera, lens, and aperture, and it will tell you the hyperfocal distance for that combination. Now, in case you haven't actually studied depth of field, the hyperfocal distance is the closest distance that your lens can be focused at while keeping objects at infinity acceptably sharp. So when the lens is focused at this distance, all objects at distances from half of the hyperfocal distance all the way out to infinity will be acceptably sharp. Now, if I just confused you with that, you need to go and read up on how depth of field really works. You know, the part that doesn't just mean bokeh in the background. I will be releasing an in-depth video about depth of field in the next few weeks. The Hyperfocal Depth of Field app is for iOS and it's free. It's supported by small ads at the bottom of the screens. The Android alternative is an app called Depth of Field Calculator, which is also free, or you can pay just under $2 to have the ads removed. Having your gear stolen is the ultimate photographer's nightmare. Lens Tag allows you to register your lenses, cameras, and other equipment, and it stores a photo of your gear's serial number tag as proof of your ownership. In the unfortunate event that your stuff goes missing, you mark it as stolen on your account. If a third-party buyer does a search for the serial numbers of the equipment that you are missing, they'll be notified that the stuff that they are about to buy was stolen. It's also free and it's available for iOS and Android. I find it useful just to have a complete inventory of my gear in case of theft. That inventory can be downloaded as a .csv file. Last but not least on my list, since I'm a people photographer, model releases are important, and I'm so overusing paper. My long-standing favorite is the app called Easy Release, available for iOS and Android. This is a $9.99 app that is also worth every penny. You can use the releases that are pre-installed in the app or upload your own. The app will allow you to collect a photo of your subject, add their signature, and then produce a JPEG or PDF of the signed release that can be emailed to you and or your subject, as well as saved in the cloud. And by the way, Easy Release also handles property releases. So there you have it, gang. These are my must-have smartphone photography apps. Be sure to check out the link below the video that will take you to my blog article containing all of this information and the links to the various apps. Feel free to bookmark it, and I'll keep the information updated as things change and new and better apps are introduced. Now you understand why I said in the first video that the best camera you have is your smartphone. It is an excellent tool to help you develop your ability to see and keep your creative edge when you don't have the time to pick up and set up your DSLR. It is also an incredibly powerful tool for planning and executing most any kind of shoot. Let me know in the comments what apps that you find really useful. Hey, please hit that thumbs up and subscribe so that you don't miss any videos. And until next time, go pick up that camera and shoot something, because your best shot, it's your next shot. So keep learning, keep thinking, and keep shooting. Adios.